buddy. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Faster Tadpoles podcast. It's been a minute. I hope you enjoy the format, like the way we were doing. Like this is live, so enjoy the. Yeah, we're trying this out here live, seeing how this looks with the images and everything as well too. Hope everyone is good. Hope everyone enjoyed our previous video where we had that fun little time with us in person. I got a chance to meet up with the boys for the first time in a little while, and we did a nice in-person podcast. That was a really fun time. I think we all really enjoyed kind of how that went in terms of the punishments and electricity and the hot drink that Drake made for us, which was downright just disturbing. I unfortunately had to do it 4 times. It sucked. It was absolutely awful. My asshole was on fire the next day, so that was pretty bad. Yeah. What do you think, Drake? How was your punishments? Do you think they were pretty fair? It's usually what Drake eats in terms of the spice, anyways. So I'm not too surprised as to the reason why he didn't overreact to it. Uh, I thought it was pretty good poetic justice that Doc ended up getting the bean the most times. I thought that was pretty funny that he had to put up with the bean quite a bit. So, although I had to do a few as well too. But Doc ended up winning. If you guys haven't seen the episode, go watch it. Doc wins the round. Yeah, go have a look. So yeah, we're here now. We're having a good old time, and I hope everyone has had good a good a good time together, and good. Hopefully everyone's been making out nice and hard, and yeah, yeah. Uh, Drake, let me ask you this biggest thing to start. That I kind of was thinking about this after today's events in terms of weather. What is the biggest Mother Nature event that scares you? Like what would you find to be okay? Tsunami would be the one that terrifies you the most. That's fair. That's fair. There's really no escaping it unless you, yeah, unless you have high ground. You're really not. And let's be honest, the only yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty. Yeah, it just all depends, and there will be a time where we'll encounter. You know what I mean? We've encountered even, and I know earthquakes aren't really much to global warming. You know what I mean? Like you can't really draw them to much of global warming, but at the same time you can. So it's like with more severity of storms happening, are there going to be the situations where we encounter actual mega earthquakes, which lead to mega tsunamis as well too? You know what I mean? Just wiping out entire cities like Los Angeles, San Diego, like places. Hawaii just getting absolutely obliterated by some sort of mega tsunami that happens in the middle of the ocean. Interesting. Unlink what? I see what you're saying. To share audio, share a tab or screen instead. There we go. Okay, yeah, we got it. We got it. Also share system audio. Yes. Share. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We are back. It is just
Now,
something where we are just trying to, like I said, try this out for the first time. So hopefully they can hear Drake now.
yep. All right. He said he can hear me now.
Beautiful.
Okay.
We're back.
Liddy
Back to New York
5000.
groove.
Liddy.
As we were touching on there with that slight hiccup, thank you for our one user there to help us out with the diagnostics. But as we were saying, yeah, tsunamis definitely, are absolutely terrifying. You can't escape them, and you can expect, during a tsunami, there, unless you're Obi-Wan, you're gonna have no high ground, so you're screwed. Like you're dead.
Yeah,
Like what are you gonna do?
yeah,
So
yeah.
definitely,
Literally, you'll be Anakin in that scenario,
yeah,
just not with fire,
yeah.
with a lot of water.
Okay, that's fair enough. I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I definitely. Forest fires scare the shit out of me. Forest fires do, like you just have nowhere to go and it's just smoke and
yeah.
fire
I
and you're just
mean,
gonna burn
but
to
at the
death,
same time, like, I mean, they don't. I mean, they spread fast, but they don't spread fast. You know what I mean? And they usually like don't engulf you. Like they don't like. I mean, they can view and whatnot, and
Yeah.
come around, but normally it's like one just line and it just moves up. So I mean, as long as you just keep moving in the opposite direction of the forest fire, as long as you're not like a ding-dong and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna hang out here in this part. Oh, something smells a little weird, but I'm just gonna chill right here still.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you should be able to smell the forest fire coming.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Definitely for sure. For sure.
I mean, as long as you just can move, you can move. I mean, animals survive forest fires all the time.
Tornadoes are pretty terrifying as well too, dude. The amount of power,
Tornadoes suck doopy doopy, yeah, for sure.
the
But
amount
I mean,
the amount of power that tornadoes have, and what you said, but
yeah,
with enough advanced warning as well, you can get out of the way of that.
yeah. You can see it coming, and you can kind of tell where it's going, and hopefully, if you're on foot, you have enough time to get out of the way. Or I mean, people survive with it, go over right at over top of them sometimes. So
Yep.
it's not like
Yep.
like that. And same with volcano dainies. I mean, yeah, you got to watch out for like the falling rock and stuff that shot up in the air, but at the same time, like you know,
Uh,
you need to be like right on the edge of the volcano, and it needs to be a pretty heavy explosion for it to like actually catch you.
what would you hate more, falling into lava or getting sucked up into a tornado? Because
Lava would probably be more painful, so I'd probably hate lava more.
see, but
But
I've
I
heard
would be more scared in the tornado.
though that with lava, the I forgot the medical term that it's called, but it's lava is so painful, like the heat is so painful that it doesn't register on your pain receptors. It's too high for the human pain receptors to
Yeah, that's
feel.
that's for your body that's in the lava. Imagine your body that's not in lava, that's right above it.
But
That's
that's
just getting the sizzle burns off it.
but
The
but but
the 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 the, the heat from in the air from the lava isn't hot enough to actually not register on your pain receptors.
no. But what I'm saying though
It's like holding
is
your hand over top of boiling water. You know what I mean?
what I'm saying though is apparently, like if you do depend, I don't know what the depth is, but like apparently if you fall into lava, you're instantly put into shock where like you don't feel a thing, like you're numb and then you just die, like you pass out. Like
Yeah, and the part that your body's being touched by that lava.
yeah.
Your pain receptors all are different from each other. And that's not, you don't have one pain receptor. That's just like your skin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
So like yeah, if you and like lava's density, it's almost like quicksand. You're not gonna just sink down into it. Splash around and stuff. You know what I mean? It's not like it's pretty thick stuff. Like
Yeah.
you'll like slowly push down into it.
Yeah.
So like yeah, like the body parts that's in the lava might not feel the heat and the pain, but the parts that's out of the lava that's having the superheated air burn your skin, you're going to be getting third-degree burns and you're going to be feeling all of that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whereas you up in a tornado, it's not painful unless you get blasted by something in the air, which is a possibility. But I mean,
but you know that you're gonna
even
fall.
then,
You know that you're gonna fall.
yeah, you're going to fall.
Time.
Either way, it's going to be like you're going to be done.
That's true.
It's going to be such a fast impact that you're not going to feel that.
Yeah.
So like, lava is going to be more painful, but I would be more scared if I got picked up by a tornado.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose between one of the two, I'd probably choose the tornado. I'd choose scared fear over pains. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Okay. Sounds good. I mean, that's kind of like the one question I had knowing today because there's a lot of.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm really terrified of heights, so I just rather just fall in lava. To be honest with you, I probably would just, what would happen would be if I knew that it was inevitable, and I fall in with my feet, I would just probably just put my arms out and just like go face first because it'll be a fraction of a second and then you'll be dead. Like I don't
Yeah, just
want to.
dunk your head in.
I don't want. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You don't wiggle my hair around. You know what I mean? Like,
You
yeah,
know, yeah.
yeah.
Just grab a bunch.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I could do the falling from heights when I don't have anything to catch me or know that it's just the end of it. Really scares the shit out of me. Like that really gets me. Like when you're just
Yeah.
you know that there's nothing between you and the ground, and you got your life is over in the incremental time from where you land from point A to point B. That is the rest of your life. Your entire life leading up to that moment is just 5 seconds left of just nothing, and then you're done.
Yeah.
Terrifies me. Utterly terrifies me.
Yeah, no, Liddy, 100%. Yeah, yeah, that's probably like I'd say. So I know we've touched on fears multiple times, but I just can't like just a deep ocean, not having anywhere to go, and I'm being out of my element is like the biggest scare for me. 100%, even more than falling, from like a great height.
See, deep
You know,
ocean doesn't scare me if I'm swimming and there's a boat maybe within 100 yards. If I'm not scared of the deep ocean then. When I am scared of the deep ocean is when I have fallen overboard from the cruise ship. Nobody knows that I've fallen overboard, and I'm fucking floating there.
and you got a big old dookie in your pants weighing you down.
I mean,
just a big old iron dookie.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. You're shitting yourself if you fall into the ocean.
100%. I am constant. Yeah. The shark's not going to smell blood. They're going to smell shit, and they're going to come like that. It might keep them away. I don't know.
Have you heard of that story about the guy who fell off of the cruise ship and he actually attached himself to a buoy and they found him 7 days later? He was holding onto a buoy, dude, a buoy in the middle of the ocean, and somebody was just checking like by that area and they found and he was still there. Obviously, he was extremely dehydrated and he was, but like apparently he was eating like pieces off of the bottom of the buoy that were like edible, like whether it be oysters
or
like
whatever, mollusks and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was apparently doing that. So like, think about that, like the fact that you are out there 7 days, and you're holding on to this massive buoy, and you have nothing better to do but to pretty much drown. Like, how long do you go before you give up hope? I guess until you die of dehydration or what have you. But
yeah. Or a seal finds you.
Seals aren't that. I mean, a killer whale, dude. You watch a killer whales, like how they can formulate their attack plan.
Killer whales, yeah, they won't like they only really hunt seals and stuff. I mean, now they're fucking up boats and stuff, because
they're getting a little more.
But like, I don't.
Killer whales are
they're not known to really attack people.
But they're getting ballsy, dude. They're getting more ballsy than they should.
Yeah, well, boats and stuff like fuck them up, but they don't know how to like differentiate the person and the boat itself. They just know the boat is what's doing it,
Yeah.
There's not really too many attacks. I mean, there are attacks, but there's not really a whole lot of attacks of like killer whales against people, but in the water with them.
But once they find out that we're delicious, we're fucked. You know what I mean? Like once.
But they'd have to find that out first. So they're gonna test their luck and try eating something that they don't know what it is. I don't think so.
Killer whales are the kind of animal that I feel like would develop a way to reach us on land. You know what I mean? Like killer whales would be like the one where you'd be like by the shore and being like, hey, what the hell is that? And all of a sudden the killer whale made like a wave that like catches you and flashes you back into the ocean, and then boom, you're supper. You know what I mean? Like killer whales are freaking smart. That's insane.
Yeah.
Going back to your point about the deep ocean though, and being out in the middle of deep ocean. So yeah, like I said, it doesn't scare me being near a boat floating. I would love to swim in that kind of area just to know. What does scare me though is knowing that, like especially in like the Marianas Trench or somewhere out in the Atlantic, like you're floating there and your buoyancy is the only thing keeping you between the surface and like 2 miles down. You know what I mean? Like that is what scares me. Is like, and if you were to get rid of all that water, all of a sudden evaporated, you were literally 2 miles up in the sky, free falling down to nothing. You know what I mean? Like that's insane to think about. Yeah. I wish we could drain the ocean.
Just think about how little of the ocean has actually been explored.
Yeah.
Isn't it something like 8% or something like that has all like actually been explored?
Yeah, they're still finding.
I mean, dude, imagine what kind of big ass creatures could be just swimming around there.
Yeah.
Just hanging out. You know what I mean?
They just found another creature off the coast of Australia that they've never documented before. That it's like 2 feet long. It's not even a small. Sometimes like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
when you go to the Amazon, they're like, oh, we found a new species of tree frog. Or
Yeah, it's
they're
like
not
something the
finding.
size of your freaking pinky nail.
Yeah, they're not
But
finding
this
any
thing,
like massive mammals, but they're still discovering massive mammals like in the ocean and stuff that are still around.
Yeah,
That they have
aquatic
never seen
fish. Yeah,
before.
most fish aren't mammals, but
No, yeah, but you know what I meant though. Like they're still finding species of mammals in the ocean that have just never been documented in the 300 years that
right.
we've
And
been
the
looking.
coasts are the most, are the most like explored.
Yeah. It gives you an idea of how
locations, you know what I
sparse it
mean?
is. Yeah. I mean, you know what? There's entire areas, down in by South America and in between South America and in between Africa and like by Antarctica and stuff. There's like just never been touched, and like most of it's too harsh to even use, to even be down there for an extended period of time for any sort of research. You know what I mean? Like it's too difficult.
Right. No, 100%. It's like it's craziness.
Yeah. So.
But the ocean and then just floating in outer space.
Yeah. If you became detached from outer space, I could see where it would be an absolute like. That's why I like watching Gravity. Gravity is like the scary movie there where Clooney detaches himself.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, everyone, if you haven't seen Gravity, but Clooney dies. But yeah, where he's
He
just
gets eaten
like
by a flying space monster.
he actually gets attacked by a flying sperm
Flying space killer whale, actually.
Yeah, flying space killer. Yeah, they're that determined to get us that they they create their own rocket program.
Yeah, they just go down real as far as they can. And they just swim real fast and up and through like all Earth's atmosphere and into space. Then they get little helmets that they developed.
Yeah. So it's pretty space is pretty terrifying. I got updated drivers I made just on my PC. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, I'm doing it right now.
So
I'm about to do a computer reset.
No, it just with a little notification that popped up there. So you said you had some questions for me. What were you gonna ask me?
So here's something. This is something that's been going around on like the social medias and whatnot. And I thought I knew about this before, but it just reminded me again, and I thought it was like a neat something to just ask. And we can ask when we have more people on the podcast as well. But just with you and I, it's how people think in their own head.
Okay.
So like it's like some small number of people actually have like an inner monologue. Like they actually like how I'm speaking right now, they speak like that in their head.
Yeah.
Now,
is that different than talking to yourself? Like, would you like talking to yourself? Would you consider that the same thing?
That's the same thing. An inner monologue is what it is. An inner monologue.
Yep. Okay.
So like a very, very few amount of people. I can't remember the exact statistic, but it's a very few amount of people actually talk to themselves in their head.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And it's like even less people like actually like see pictures in their head.
Interesting. So
like they think in just pictures. They don't actually think words. They just think of a picture or whatever.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm trying to formulate how the picture would look in my mind, like how I would perceive.
So then, how do you think though?
Okay. So first of all,
you just talk to yourself essentially.
Yeah, dude. To your first point, I talk to myself all the time. Like I literally talk to myself all the time. Like to give you an idea, especially at work, I talk to myself the most at work when I'm like, I'll park a vehicle and I'll be talking to myself like on the way back from like where you park the vehicle is maybe a 30-second to minute walk back. But I'll talk to myself during that minute walk back about my day or about what have you. I'll talk to myself at nighttime, like maybe in the shower or whatever, like kind of going over the day and like just kind of decompressing or compartmentalizing like what happened or what has to happen tomorrow. Like all of that stuff is formulated in my mind through talking either out loud or in my brain. Now, in terms of the picture aspect of it, I don't know if this is how. Okay, I'll explain this to you, and I've said this once before on the podcast. I see things, as weird as it sounds, through other people's perspective. So to give you an idea, right now I can actually picture you sitting there and looking at, like, I can become you, like, and I'm not saying it in like some weird spiritual way. but like I can perceive myself as like you sitting in your room right now. You know what I mean? Like I can understand that in your peripheral right now, to your right hand side is your door, is your dresser. You know what I mean? It's probably a pile of clothes on top of your dresser or what have you. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
can.
actually, my room is pretty clear. My girlfriend cleaned it up for me when
Oh,
she was here.
well, good job. Anyways, so yeah, if you guys didn't know, by the way, too, that Drake is now taken. So anyone who's on here who's been trying to get into his DMs, get gone, get goodbye. Like you don't have to be in his DMs because she liked it and she's probably gonna put a ring on it. So, anyways, so that's how I see things and like I perceive things. And like it happens like in a conversation. To be honest with you, like I'll think about like uh, when I am sitting like if I have a customer in my office, I will have that split second where I will be that customer looking back at me, like thinking about like how I look and like how I may be doing my
God, this
sales
guy's
pitch.
stupid.
Yeah, like, I'm sitting there like this guy is fucking ugly.
This
dude.
guy
Jesus
sucks.
Christ. Or like I'm like all of a sudden I freak out the customer like, why didn't you tell me I had mayonnaise on my face? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have lettuce in my teeth. Come on. And then you actually do though. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. So I find myself doing that, and I don't think that's picturizing things in my mind, but I do remember. I do think about things a lot more in a picture aspect than I do in sentences, for sure. I would say.
Yeah, so like let's say like you like park a truck and you gotta go like, oh shoot, I gotta go park this GMC Sierra right now as well. The great, and then you picture like the vehicle in your head, like a gray GMC Sierra where it's parked currently with the trees behind it and the parking lot around it, or do you just picture like a car in your head, like a gray GMC Sierra, just the car itself, and then just like to that, and then you say I have to go park this car.
No, so
like, what do you picture?
To give you an idea, like if you're saying the way that you just said it, like if I have a customer who just went for a test drive and the truck is out front, when I think about parking that truck, I will picture the empty space of where that truck was with all the details around it, and knowing that I have to put it there. That's how I think. Does that make sense? Same thing for like I know like or if I picture like if I'm going to get the peanut butter, I will picture the peanut butter cabinet, like the cabinet being open with the peanut butter sitting right there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, how accurate is that picture in your head too?
Pretty accurate. It's basically, from what I remember, it's basically what the last image of that I've seen. It could be months or weeks or whatever. It could be like right now. I can picture the cheese sticks being in the left side drawer, 2 drawers down in the fridge. You know what I mean? Like I can picture them sitting there. The one is sitting diagonal. One's white and one's yellow. I can picture that, but that's the last image that I had of that.
Now, is it just a flat picture? Or is it like a 3D world that you can like view from different angles?
No,
like,
it's what I remember of it being. So I can it's the picture of me looking down into there in a 3D setting. It's not just a picture like I took a picture and I'm looking at the photo. It's like I can almost look down in and see the cheese right now. I'm looking at the cheese.
But you can like change your angle that you're viewing the cheese from, or no?
No, I think it's just what the last memory of it is, like that I have recorded. Realistically, I don't think it's. I can view it in a 3D setting, but I can't change that angle. I don't think. No, like even like right now, I'm trying to think about the cheese, and I'm just thinking about it in a 3D setting, but I'm thinking about it in a setting of motion. Does it make sense? Like I'm thinking about it in a setting of, like I'm opening the drawer and I can see the cheese there, and
it's like it's a little video almost.
Almost, yes.
Not exactly a picture, but like a little video.
No, yeah, I would say it's more like that. And like same with like the picture of the empty slot with the truck where the truck used to be. That's me looking back as I'm walking away after I've moved the truck and pulled it up for the customer, and I've looked back and seen that empty spot. That's what I can picture and play in my mind.
Interesting.
So that's kind of how I operate, I guess, and that's kind of how I remember where things are. You know what I mean? Like I remember placing my I remember playing. I know where the darts are because we played darts last night. Like I remember where things are in my head based off of how I replayed that. That memory. I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
I guess that's why.
For me.
Sorry, I just wanted to touch one more. I guess that's why I lose things a lot. I do end up losing things a lot because I wonder if almost me not paying attention to putting something away is actually causing me to forget where it is. Does that make sense? Like if I
Yeah.
to give you an idea, like my Raycons here, like I have my little Raycon my little Raycon buds here. If I set this down somewhere and I don't pay attention to it and not realize where I put it down, and then I go to look for it again, and I'm like, well, where the fuck did I fucking put that goddamn thing for my Raycons? You know what I mean? Like I'm looking for them everywhere because I didn't compartmentalize or pay enough attention to where it was being set down.
Yeah.
So how do you function?
Pretty much, pretty much the same way. Like I narrate things in my head.
Yeah.
As well as like I have a static image of just, it's not like a video, like I can't like view myself walking down the corridor, like if I'm walking down the hallway and then like I go to like think about myself walking down that hallway, I don't view myself walking down the hallway, but I could say like I could see like the beginning of the hallway, and I can narrate everything around like the very beginning of the hallway, and then like the very end of the hallway, or like halfway through I can narrate each like I like break it into sections,
Yeah.
or like how you say you leave something behind or whatnot, or if I watch something where I set something down, I can see exactly where it was set down. Even if it was like I just saw it for a split second, I can see it like exactly the way it is in my head with like I'd say 90% accuracy at least.
Okay.
And then because I narrate it all in my head as well, I think like numbers, because I narrate the numbers in my head and I can visually see the numbers like laid out,
Mm-hmm.
So if you told me like a number like 87,846, I can see that 87,846 as just like a black with the white numbers around it. I can see that 87,846 right there.
Sure.
870,846.
Can you
yeah, that's how I see it as well.
Can you view? Can you view yourself in real time in third person? Like, can you view yourself like if you were walking down a hallway? Can you like picture what you look like from behind walking down that hallway?
No.
Okay.
I can only re-see like everything that's directly in front of me.
Okay.
If I see it at more angles, I can like actually create it so I can like look at it from multiple sides,
Yeah.
But I can't I can't see like at all what's behind me. And like you said, with like not watching where you set something down. If I like put my keys down and I don't look at where I put my keys down, I don't know where my keys are.
Yeah, that's how I operate. Yeah, that's how I operate.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
But like with all my like customers' homes and whatnot that I go into, I don't like I have a hard time with people's names. I can remember their face and I know their face and I know like where that face goes.
Yep.
And whatnot, but I can't like for some reason I can do numbers, but I just can't do names. I can do like the house number, but I can't do the street name that the house is on.
Yeah.
I guess I can do the house number because I can see the front of the house and I can see the number on the home.
See, I have to see things like that. Like to give you an idea, when we're back home visiting, it has been now 5 years since I have last worked at my appliance company's business. 5 years. Still to this day, I have delivered, and I worked for the appliance company for 4.5 years. Still to this day, when we drive by certain places, I can remember that I dropped off a fridge, a washer, a stove. My wife hates it because I point it out religiously, and it drives her nuts. But it happens a lot, and this is going to blow your mind, Drake. And I'll let you touch this on you. You're going to want to hear this, which I think you'll find it be pretty cool. Even with like when I sell a vehicle, I can remember and see almost every vehicle is cataloged in my mind because I've spent just enough time for me to log what it looks like or color or what have you. Um, I'm not good, like you said. You're not good with names. I'm not good with names. I'm going to be honest with you, especially on the customer side of things. I could have a customer that was maybe 2 months ago, and if they come in, I have to give myself a little refresher, like, okay, shit, who was that? You know what I mean? I have to touch up on that. But this happened last. This happened on Saturday. So last Saturday, I went to an air show, and I went to this air show. It's 3 hours away from where I live, so it's quite a distance. And we go there. It only happens once a year. Drake, I recognized, and I pointed him out to Dana. I recognized a guy's face from the air show that I had seen from last year's air show. How much does that freak you out? Like, I literally called it out to Dana. I said, "Listen, I just noticed a guy that was here last year that was sitting near us. Like, how does that guy live rent free in my brain for an entire year? But then once I catch him again, it's instantaneously like it's almost like I'm meeting an old friend. You know what I mean? Like I knew who he was.
Yeah,
like
I mean it's the same for me. Like because I've worked doing landscaping for 5 years, and I've done my job now as a the water business for 5 years here, and I have this is almost going now 7, 8, 9 years ago, people that I've done work at their house.
Yeah.
Even and I can tell you exactly what that person's backyard. I know exactly what's in the backyard. I can tell you exactly what brick I fucked up on.
Yep.
I can tell you the exact number, like down and to the right of what brick it is exactly. And whatnot. And even like going into customers' homes, you tell me the name of the customer, like the street it's on, I have no idea. But if you show me the picture of the front of the house, I can tell the exact interior layout of the home and where they're traveling, what's standing where, and where the equipment is, what kind of plumbing, the diameter of the plumbing it is, and whatnot. I can tell you perfectly. And these are like homes, like because I used to do the route when I first started. This was well, I've worked here longer than 5 years. I worked just shy of 6 years now. So in the first 6 months I worked at this company, I did deliveries, which is where I would go out on the road and deliver product to people.
Yeah.
And then the next 8 months after that, I did service, where I actually went in and actually repaired the equipment in people's homes. And then the next 4.5 years, I've worked in the shop. I haven't really gone out too often at all. We have and whatnot like that. There's houses that I've only ever been to once. But if the guys come up and show me a picture of the front of the home, I can tell them exactly where the equipment is.
Can you do that with
exactly? Oh, dude, check this guy's. Oh, when you go in, take 5 steps and then look to your left. There's going to be a door. The door is usually slightly open. The door was open this time when I went last time.
Yeah.
Check it out inside there, because the dude's got fucking sweet figurines of like, Alien versus Predator and like the Alien series movie and whatnot. It's like that's actual custom toss. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like
I can remember that like perfectly.
How does your brain like how does the human brain just compartmentalize so much information like that? You know what I mean? Like you don't realize how much genuine storage space. If you were to compare the human brain storage space to like 1 terabyte, like it is so much more than I think, like in terms of size.
Oh, it's massive.
It's insanity how much
it's massive storage that the brain has. Yeah.
Now even to the 2 very nice viewers who are listening to this, if you can think about what songs that you can, when are playing, you can sing verbatim with the notes. Just think about that. And how many, and you may not know this, but how many thousands of songs even are stored in your brain that you can sing at literally, and all you need is maybe the first split seconds of the melody, and you can almost sing the song verbatim. Like it's nuts to think about that. And like Drake, I'm sure for you, like I could easily show you a picture of a house, and when you were working for the landscaping company, you could almost tell me exactly what you did at that house, and maybe not the exact day, but I'm sure if I were to show you a house, you could tell me almost the time of the year just based on what you were wearing that you were doing at that house.
Oh yeah, I can see the weather outside the house, looking at the front picture when I pulled up to it.
Yeah. And Dana,
I can see if it was like leaves everywhere. I can see if it was bright sunny with the plants. I can see if the garden was edged or freshly mulched, or I can see if there was some snow left over. I can see if the ground was dewy or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's almost like a curse because I can literally point out anyone that I see and be like, I have seen that guy before. Like, I know where I seen him. That guy was at the gas station like 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like, I can point that out and have no issue with it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, I go to these, like there's places I go to, and not very often at all. Well, I'll see somebody, and I'll like they work there or whatnot, and I'll go back again, like a year later, and I'll see that person again. And I'll wonder, like, I know who that is. I know they work there. I've seen them before. I know who.
Yeah.
I don't know who the person is,
Yeah.
but I know I can associate the face with that place.
Yeah.
I can remember exactly where I saw them last time, in what aisle or where, what interaction, we had. I don't remember the dialogue between us too well, but I mean, I remember, like, the image there. But then I always wondered to myself, like, do they recognize me? Do they know that they saw me a year ago or whatever, or 8 months ago, or 14 months ago, whatever it is, what I mean?
That's how I see it. I really wonder if people do see it the same way. And like, I have had a few instances where I have locked eyes with someone and maybe they've given me a nod. Maybe,
you give a little kissy?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, you know
nice.
what I mean? Like,
yep, 100% no.
So someone in our chat said maybe it's repetition where we see things multiple times, but meeting a person is a one-time interaction. Yeah, that's an option, but like, at the same time, like, for me, I honestly could see someone who is in front of me for not even 30 seconds in a 7-Eleven, and they could get their stuff and go out, and then I will immediately pick up on that if I see them at like a Walmart a month later.
Yeah, like, oh shit, I saw that dude, like,
literally 30 seconds
ago.
of this guy in my brain is something that causes me, you know what I mean? Like, and he's there. Now, Drake, I have a question that kind of spins off of this, and maybe it kind of plays off the same aspect here.
So, hold on for a sec, though. I have done tests for this in school, and I have an eidetic memory, is what it is for me.
Okay.
And since it sounds like you think exactly the same way as I do, you might possibly also have an eidetic memory.
Yeah.
You should look up some actual tests to see that you can take to see if it's what level it is. Mine's not super good. I can't, like, I do get some things wrong. Like I said, it's about 90% that I can remember. After a while, like the image, like if I'm looking at a picture, the outsides of the picture will start to, like, kind of gray out, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
so like the longer the way it focuses down more and more.
It's almost like your brain has put together the main core of the picture, but like the outside of it has been blurred. Like it can't put together the rest of the picture frame. That makes sense. I definitely wouldn't mind giving some tries to some tests myself, but man, I always like, when it comes to testing for that kind of stuff, I always I need to almost not think about it. You know what I mean? Like, because I almost don't react the way that I should, in a test. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I wouldn't mind trying it out and seeing how I.
Well, it's a different test. It's like a spatial reasoning test and whatnot.
Okay.
A test specifically for memory.
Yeah. So I have a question.
Like a multiple choice or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Well, that's fair. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I'll maybe give one a try and just see how it pans out. Because, like I said, it sounds like we're pretty similar.
I had something that said that they're getting maybe possible Discord notification sounds in the video. So I don't know. I'm not getting any messages on Discord. So I don't know.
It might be mine. Yeah, I might have to mute Discord next time we're live. I think it might be mine.
Yeah, you might just have to mute. Yeah, mute whatever server that you're on that you're getting this. Obviously not our server, but mute the other server. I have all my servers muted.
Yeah, I should just go through there as well too. That's, like I said, thank you for putting that through, because that's something that, like I said, we're trying to do this live and make it a little bit nicer for everyone. Drake, my question to you is kind of panning off that whole eidetic memory thing.
How many fingers could I eat in a day? 7?
Okay. Fingers, like human fingers?
Fingers, yeah.
Okay, my question to you here is, would you eat more... Okay, this is a different question now that you've said that. Would you eat more male or female fingers, do you think?
Are the nails trimmed up to be the same, or are the nails going to be different? I guess the average person's nail is probably all pretty similar looking, Yeah. And you might get one that might be a little longer, and you might get one that's maybe colored. Yeah. Maybe I would say more male fingers, because the the paint, the color of the fingernail on the female fingers might not be very good for my stomach afterwards.
See, is it not messed up that that's where he went, ladies and gentlemen? Like, that's his immediate thought process was literally the fingernail paint. It wasn't the fact that, a male's finger, he could have been working construction for the last 10 years and it would be a thick, coarse skin that he's got to bite through. Like, he thought about just the chemicals that he cared about, nothing else. But that's okay. Well, that's fair. I think I would do the.
I mean, cook it. The skin's gonna get soft no matter what. And if you boil them, give me some gritty fingers and boil them up, and I can end up eat them up like chicken wings.
Just little fucking hot dogs.
Yeah.
Little pigs in a blanket.
The meat softens away from the bone, and you just,
God.
eat it right off.
Yeah. Don't report us, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not Hannibal Lecter.
Okay, so my question, based off of the eidetic memory stuff that we had, was what? This is gonna sound pretty funny. What mental illness do you think that you have that isn't diagnosed? Like, what mental illness do you think that you genuinely have that you think probably just isn't diagnosed, or like you just don't care to treat it?
All my stuff is diagnosed.
Okay.
Well. I have ADHD, but like a very low threshold for it.
Okay.
Where like it's not like I need to be in like always doing something. I can focus on one thing for a few hours, but then after that it's done.
Okay.
It's hard for me to finish like long-term projects.
Yeah. Okay. I can.
Like long-term being more than one day.
Yeah. Okay. I can agree with that.
It was a lot worse when I was a child, obviously, but now that I'm like an adult, it chilled out a little bit more. But that was mostly it,
Yeah.
Besides like the other crap,
Yeah.
They also thought I was handicapped back in middle school and going into high school because I was failing a lot of my classes and they wanted to figure out why I was doing that, so they brought me in and testing me and whatnot, and that's what I found out, like all my stuff, was as I went into high school, they tested me and whatnot, and turns out that I wasn't, handicapped in any of those capacities. I had like ADHD and whatnot, but it wasn't like enough to actually affect my schooling per se, and I wasn't, handicapped in any of those other ways, but it was just that I didn't want to do my homework.
You know what it was? Is okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to freak you out here because I'm about to draw a correlation as to why Drake and I are basically best friends. And if we were both gay, we would have been married by now. So
maybe.
So
maybe.
First of all,
I can definitely see he was a bear, dude, for sure. I think that's what they call him.
I was licking my lips there. If you can't see the so. Oh, fuck! Yeah, you got me on the gayness now. I'm trying to think about.
Oh no.
No, sorry. So.
Oh yes.
No, yes. So, I don't think. Now, knowing you, the reason why you didn't do any of that in high school, it wasn't because you were special needs or anything. It was literally because your thought process and IQ was so high that the general aspect of learning things that you don't really care about bored you. You know what I mean? Like you were, your thought process was so high up that anything below that level was literally just a sleep fest for you.
So like thinking about it now, now that I'm older and whatnot, I know for a fact. So like geometry, history, stuff like that, English, like all those classes were so easy for me.
Yep.
Whatever test I took, it could be a cumulative, or it could be just on what we learned that day. The cumulative, obviously, I would get a 100% an A. Maybe miss a few questions here and there, but I would get an A always, all the time, no matter what. My hardest class was algebra.
Yeah.
And I failed that class multiple times. I even had to have a tutor for that class and whatnot. And then I eventually passed it with a D. I had to do my homework in that class. But anyways, like the whole thought, like I didn't want to do my homework because if I am able to pass a test based on the homework and classwork with an A, that clearly shows that I'm understanding the curriculum.
Yep.
And that I'm retaining the knowledge that's being taught to me.
Yeah.
So why do I need to go out of my way to spend hours doing work that I already know?
Yep.
If I'm trying to learn something. So I never did my homework. But
That's
because school is thinky poo poo, homework represented 45% of your grade.
Yeah.
So since I never did the homework, I was constantly at a D plus C minus level.
Yeah.
You know?
I was the same way. Same thing with history. Like, history to give you an idea, like the 12th grade history thing for where I graduated was like you needed that to graduate high school, and everyone stressed out about it. I honestly didn't even study once. I'm not even joking you. I didn't study, and I got a 96. Like it was just something that like you retained the information. But same thing. I literally had to begged my teacher in math to give me a 65, and I did one of those things where I did like an extra credit, like quotation marks, extra credit thing to bump my score.
Yeah, you met the teacher after school.
Of course, yeah. Or obviously, for detention, wink, wink. You know what I mean? So I ended up having to do that to literally bump it from a 63 to a 65 so I could graduate. Like I had it, but that I just hated math that much. Now I wanted to touch on this point while it was still kind of fresh. We talked about the correlation between Drake and I and everything that has happened in the past. What happened with Drake in high school is literally what happened to me in 4th grade. I failed 4th grade, ladies and gentlemen. Big shocker, just letting everyone know here. I failed 4th grade for the sole reason that my entire 4th grade year, I didn't do a single ounce of homework. Then I spent the entire summer just chilling, hanging out, and came into 4th grade again and was like, well, fuck, I gotta do 4th grade now. Like, I don't want to do fucking 4th grade. So I came into 4th grade the second time, and I didn't do my homework until December. And now they started to get worried, and they're like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? Ended up getting me into counseling and getting me into therapy, and then actually started to do like some sort of diagnosis to figure out what was going on with me. And I ended up figuring out when they did the first therapy session, I'm like, okay, this is dumb. Like, I'm not doing a therapy session. Like, I'm not going to therapy because I'm not doing my homework. So like literally, I had my first therapy session, and then I just started doing the homework, and then I just never stopped. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do my homework from now on, so I don't worry about like going to therapy. You know.
What a little bitch! I never did, dude. I never gave in. I never did my homework. Never. They actually came up to me at the end of my junior year. And we're like, dude, you're gonna fail. You're not gonna be able to pass. You're not gonna be able to graduate with your friends. You're gonna be held back a year, your senior year.
And you were like, fuck
if you don't do this, if you don't do your homework or you don't start picking your shit up,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not doing that. I can test out of anything you want. And they said, oh, you think you can test out of this? I said, yeah, 100% I can. And so they actually gave me a test that I took. I had to go to another school first off. The school was like a continuation school because I was in trouble failing,
So they're sick of your shit, so they just
yeah. Well, the continuation school didn't have homework. It just graded you based on your performance in school. So I was like honor roll, dude. I was A+ student then at that school.
You fucking showed.
But it was not the best school to be at. It was a lot of riffraff from a lot around, But anyways, they allowed me to test. The beginning of my senior year then, and they said that if I passed the test, I could graduate. This basically like the final test for all seniors. And they said if I pass the test, I can graduate early. I can graduate high school a year early from everybody else.
Yep.
So I took the test, and then lo and behold, I passed. I passed with an A.
Yeah.
Most of the fields, I think it was like a B in math or whatever. But I mean, I passed the test, like holy, and they're like, oh wow, okay, So what do you want to do? Do you want to graduate early then? Like you certainly can. We can hand you the diploma now. And I said, well, no. Like the whole thing was I wanted to stay with my friends, so I'm going to take 2 classes. Give me 2 classes. First class is going to be gym, and second class is going to be computer graphics, which I've already taken. so the teacher's going to let me mess around. In gym class, I was an ultra star because the gym teacher at that time was the same teacher that did track and field, and also I can't remember what it's called, track and field, and in long distance running, whatever that's called, cross country, track and field and cross country. And I was in both of those activities after school, and I was like top. I was always in like third or fourth place in every single category in track and field and cross country. So the teacher absolutely loved me. I ran a freaking 4-minute and 48-second mile.
Huh.
The teacher absolutely loved me, Yeah. So those two classes, I was able to screw around it and not do any work. I came in with a skateboard and skateboarded during gym class. And then I played Halo on the computer with a bunch of other people in class during graphics. Its class started at second period for me and ended at third period for me. So I was able, every single day I went into school at 9:45 and I was out of school at like 10:50 or something like that, or whatever it was.
Yeah,
I'd hang out for like the third period break and then go home. So it was like my senior year was like just freaking chill.
Yeah,
and then I was able to graduate with them as well.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cakewalk.
Yeah. Right.
So touching on the point there about what you might not have diagnosed, I definitely think I do have some sort of
Asperger's, probably, dude.
Yes.
Not to make light of Asperger's at all.
No, of course not. But so I definitely think I have some sort of ADHD. Like when you think about like what ADHD entails, I find myself, and even nowadays like you said, it probably is dulled down, but even nowadays with work, like I find myself, I will literally go and do something, and in the middle of that thing, I will purposefully cut off that thing to go do another thing and leave that thing there to go do another thing. And then that thing, I will branch off and do 3 more things on. And then, but I always come and kind of wrap everything up in a bow at the end. But like I find myself always moving on to the next thing too quickly before it's actually completed. You know what I mean? Like I always find myself kind of jumping ahead too quickly, prematurely on something.
Can you hear me still, by the way?
Oh, of course, yeah.
My thing's muted.
Oh, yeah.
So like flashing light on my thing. It's supposed to be muted right now.
Can you hear mine right now? Can you hear me right now? Hello, check 1 2.
Oh.
Check.
Hello?
Check. Can you hear me now?
No, yeah, you went mute. Yeah.
Yeah, I muted. Okay, that's good because I've been coughing. I've been muting myself while I cough. We can. Our listeners here can hear you as well too. They just say in the chat that they can hear you.
That's crazy. We have the same exact mic. Why is my mic, dude? I'm being listened to.
That's
listening to me.
Yeah, because I've been muting mine every single time I go to cough. Like I've been muting myself so that people can't hear me when I cough.
Yeah, because I would just hear mine. Like I see my box go off with random noises, so I don't know if it's making noise or not.
Like, watch, I'll keep talking now while
I'm
muting
muted
myself,
right now,
and
dude.
you see it disappear. See?
See, you just stop. I don't stop. My mute go bye time.
Huh, that's interesting.
I wonder if it has to do with the button I clicked
down
here.
It's
maybe.
Possible. Well, I think that was
I got this mic for very cheap, so.
Yeah, I think that was a good episode. I think that was a good routine. Listen, guys, we always say like we're bad.
It was a good ego boosting episode for us both. It was
both, yeah. Even though we
just talked about how much better we are.
Yeah.
Than the Commonwealth. Come on.
I do honestly feel better after this episode. I'm not gonna lie. Like I do feel better about myself after this. But let us know what you guys thought about this kind of style of the episode live.
Tell us how you think too. Tell us if you think the same way we do, or if like you only have a monologue, or if you only see pictures, or like what. Tell us. Tell us how you think. I'm interested. Like,
or if you operate like my little brother who operates in smoke signals. That's literally how he operates, and that's it.
He literally walks through a fog every single day. He just feels his way around,
Yeah. Which, by the way,
he operates by like feeling.
We know you guys haven't heard from him in a long time. We want to reiterate, he is gone. He passed away.
Yeah. He's literally walking in a fog because he's dead, and he just doesn't. His ghost just doesn't know where to go.
Yeah. He's been dead for a long time.
He's literally in a fog.
Asking, "Where's Tyler been?" It's like, unfortunately, Tyler the Tadpole has evacuated his bowels into the ether.
Yep.
So
it was not fast enough to
so
escape that scenario.
Yeah. So
don't feel bad for him though. Don't feel bad for him.
Don't feel bad for him.
He could possibly be happier. I don't know. We don't know.
I definitely I definitely think we're back. I'm hoping that we're back. We can squeeze at least one episode.
Yeah,
in
no,
every
we
couple of
every
weeks.
single time we always try to say I'm gonna continue just talking over you as well for the last couple minutes here. Just so you know here as well, proper etiquette for podcasters. But yeah, every time we say we're back, we do like maybe 2 or 3, and then like we just go on hiatus again.
Yeah.
We're busy, but we're gonna keep trying to just upload still.
we really
we might back off, but jump in and check in on us, check in on your boys. Here,
Yeah, we genuinely enjoy doing it. It's a fun time whenever we do it. Even this one was a good time. Honestly, I want to go back, Drake. How many episodes do you think we've done so far? I honestly be interested to go back and kind of count and see what we've done episode wise. I probably would say we're up in
unofficial.
The 50s. We're probably up
Unofficial,
in the
197. Official, we're probably 56.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, the other 145 that we had are all the ones that we have failed at like some sort of technical issue or something.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you again here soon. Hope you enjoyed the Piddlecast there. Y'all have yourself a great evening now.